So in my opinion, as I mentioned before, if you are someone who is just looking for the badge and you wanted a BMW motorcycle in your garage and you don't have any other option, your budget is locked here, go for it. Good motorcycle, no worries, just go and buy it. If you are confused, what's up YouTube, welcome to the review of the BMW G310R BS6 variant. So today is an awesome morning. I was riding very peacefully and I found out this place. I'm feeling so happy about that. Yeah, we have a beautiful motorcycle, we have a beautiful view, so let's talk about the motorcycle. I think I have done the previous version review quite long back. Like I did the review 4 years back, the BS4 one, and after that I didn't got a chance to ride this motorcycle. In fact, I was riding the 310 GS, but I was not riding the 310R at all. Got a solid chance to ride this motorcycle. So first of all, one disclaimer: if you are watching this video and you have only one motorcycle in your mind that you have shortlisted to buy, then what I'll personally tell is that you just go and buy it, no problem. It's a good motorcycle, you can go ahead and buy this motorcycle. But if you're confused between a Duke 390 or a Mahindra Mojo, or you are looking for some other motorcycle like the RR310 or the elder siblings of this one, then this might be a good video. Otherwise you are just wasting your time. No worries, just go ahead and buy the motorcycle. Now the second part of the disclaimer: I am not at all a BMW hater. I have to say that, because when I take motorcycles and I ride motorcycles, if I feel happy about it, I'll tell that. If I'm not feeling happy about it, if I'm feeling something uncomfortable with the motorcycle, be it the riding stance or be it from the maintenance part or the on-road cost, I'll be truly telling that without any inhibition. So you can expect that in this video. So let's get into the video. First of all, let's talk about the looks. In fact, whenever I see this motorcycle, I get a feel that it is actually resembling a little bit of the elder one, the most eldest one in this family and in the lineup, the BMW S1000R. The new headlight and the logo and the tank section and the 3-piece plastic piece tank section, which has that R and all, which actually resembles a big motorcycle, especially, and also the USD Fox. How can I miss that? So altogether, the motorcycle is actually an eye catcher. I thought the black one will be a little off when compared to the white color variant which we have, but the black actually looks so sexy. It is an eye catcher. Whenever you stop in the signal, I mean, people are actually noticing it because of that emblem and as well as that golden fox. So look wise, I'll give 10 by 10. And also there is an aftermarket crash guard on this motorcycle. I don't have much of feedback about the crash guard which is there on this motorcycle, but it's better to have this on the motorcycle because, yeah, obviously if you have a small fall and all, and that plastic portion will be the first one to get hit, so that's a nice accessory that you can buy. So first of all, let's talk about the headlight. So the headlight has a very distinctive LED line which is happening there, and what I liked about this motorcycle is that there is a 3-way switch. You can turn on the LED, you can turn on the low beam, you can turn on the high beam also. So it's a 3-way switch. Visibility of the headlight is actually good. I mean, after a very long time, I'm riding a stock motorcycle with a very good visibility, and of course the RR310 has good visibility, but I'm telling, in the recent past, everything which comes with LED lights are not so good. So in a way, I'll say that headlight is actually good, the function is actually good. And to talk about the suspension actually, when you start riding, it feels like a longer travel suspension. It has a more dive to it. So when you're braking, you get a dive like that. Some people like it, some people don't, especially people who ride KTMs and all don't like it because they wanted a stronger front end. You don't get that kind of a stronger and a harder front end feel while riding this motorcycle, but you get a nice dive. It is more onto a comfortable side, and the tire profiling is good. What you get is the Michelin Pilot Street radials. I believe that the Road 5 or the Road 6 will make very good tires on this motorcycle because the motorcycle has very good abilities to corner. One way this is restricted towards the road is because of the tire, the Pilot Street radials. Those are not actually great tires when compared to the Road 5. The Road 5 is also not the best, but you can look forward for the Mitzellers or the Pirelli. But altogether, I'll say that it's a decent tire which will give you a life of around 20,000 or 25,000 kilometers. And to talk about the braking setup, the brake has a spongy feel. I like it in one way because the spongy feel of the brake and the diving suspension, everything gives a very nice feel. It doesn't just throw you off like that. So in that way, I'll say that it is good. And coming to this portion, I felt a little bit of uncomfortable thing over here, probably because of my height, that whenever I sit on the motorcycle and I try to hug the tank over here, this is the portion where I'm keeping my leg. So what happened is that that's not a really nice place to keep the knee, because this is a sharp edge and my knee is actually not reaching over here. And also the seating comfort is excellent. You look at the seat is too comfortable. It's wide. The pillion seat is also equally comfortable and wide. Pillion grab rail is confidence inspiring. If you wanted to take your girlfriend for a ride, or you wanted to take your mom for a ride, definitely they'll be much comfortable than many other single cylinder naked sport motorcycles. And coming to this area, I know that I have neglected the engine. We'll talk about the engine when we go for the ride. We have an exhaust system which we have already seen with the TVS RR310. Yeah, that's it. So now let me just get on the motorcycle. So with my height, this is, yeah, I have kind of planted foot with the boot. One more thing is, like, when I sit on the motorcycle, the rear suspension actually sits and gives me a much more comfortable feel. And from this angle, it looks really nice. The fit and finish, the quality of the motorcycle is like excellent. I have a little bit of disappointment over here is that we have seen all these kind of switches on the RR310 already, so why not BMW make very specific BMW 310 series switches? And the mirror visibility is actually good, a bit hard to adjust it, but once it is set, it is always there, no issues like that. And you have a lighter clutch feel and a little bit of clunky gearbox. I was finding a little bit of difficulty in putting onto the neutral. And you get a sliver clutch here, an adjustable lever here as well as here. This is a three-way switch I was talking about. And you have a pass switch here, indicator, horn. Here's the kill switch and the ignition. That's all pretty basic. And the fit and finish, the quality that you see from this angle is very neat. You see this portion, the alloy, excellent. So let's look into the dial. Unfortunately, this is a normal display. There is no Color Tft display, nothing like that. It's an LCD. I feel when you're paying this much amount, BMW could have given a better display on this. So we have basic things over here. Here we have the fuel level indicator, the range, the time, the tachometer, the speedometer, odometer, trip 1, trip 2, engine temperature, and the range. That's all, pretty basic stuff. I expect a little bit of more information to the dial when we give this much money. Some riding mode or a traction control system and a multicolor display. That's what I expect for this price. So yes, let's talk about the things when we go for the ride. So let's take a break and I'll reach the highway and I'll talk about that. Alright, we are back on road. So that's exhaust sound, and while doing that, actually I'm getting a slight amount of vibration over here, and I can feel it over here. So basically, you know, this engine comes with a particular character. So in the sense, under 6000 RPM, this engine doesn't have much of a performance. It is a little slower, a little sluggish. You can feel it immediately after riding it. And the actual performance of the engine is actually sitting beyond 6000. That's why I was pulling it hard over there. So from 6000 to that red line marker of 10,000, this motorcycle has the power. But the thing is, it has a little bit of vibration issue. So I can feel the vibration on the handlebar, on the seat, a little bit on the foot peg. When I'm wearing the boot, that vibration is not there. But that's the general feedback. So even then, BMW claims that they have modified the engine a lot. Coming from the BS4 variant, this also has a little bit of vibration issue. But that's kind of fine. Let's ignore it for now. When we look at the performance, it's a decently, sweetly pulling engine. It's not as aggressive as the Duke 390, but it's a much decent, much comfortable, beginner-friendly motorcycle to ride. And if you ask me if there is any heating issue from the motorcycle, I'll say absolutely nothing major. It's just like any other 300cc. If I'm riding this motorcycle in a bumper-to-bumper traffic for more than 20 minutes, then I get a little bit of heating here and there, that's all. Otherwise, no issues like that. And I'm actually much comfortable to ride this motorcycle now. If you see, there are a lot of undulations on the road, and that is not at all coming onto me. That's because of this amazing suspension. Let me just show the dive that I was mentioning before. Let me make sure that there is nobody behind me. Alright, you see that there is a dive. Not many people will like the dive, but that suspension is actually pretty good. It's good for touring, it's good for city riding, for broken roads and all sort of things. Not definitely for off-roading, but it's good. So to talk about the riding ergonomics, I'll say that it's pretty naked motorcycle. So you have to sit upright, very comfortable handlebar, the reach is good. We have to put a little bit of sportiness to it, but it's much comfortable. The riding ergonomics is too good, and it's much lighter to ride as well. It's around 160 plus kg. but still you don't feel it. Once the motorcycle start riding, it's much comfortable. The center of gravity of the motorcycle is less onto a lower side, so that means this is an amazing city motorcycle as well. Now let's look at the ownership part. So this motorcycle actually comes on road for around 3.3 lakh, 3.3 to 3.4 lakh. The ex-showroom is 2.8 lakh. In that sense, I'll say that this is a bit expensive motorcycle compared to the competitors. And also the service interval is once in 10,000 kilometers, which is actually much higher than many other motorcycle, but that is also a little higher. In general, the cost is something like 8,000 to 12,000 based on customer feedbacks. And also the mileage claim from BMW is 30 km per liter, and many people are getting around 25 to 30, and today I'm getting around 22. That's what I see. Now let's come to the verdict. Should you buy this motorcycle or not? So in my opinion, as I mentioned before, if you are someone who is just looking for the badge and you wanted a BMW motorcycle in your garage and you don't have any other option, your budget is locked here, go for it. Good motorcycle, no worries, just go and buy it. If you are confused with this and the Duke 390 and performance is your primary concern, eyes closed, go for the Duke 390. Or if you are looking for a value for money machine and you can buy anything, go for the RR310. But yeah, finally this is a BMW. The fit and finish, the quality on the motorcycle is much ahead that we see on the KTM 390. And if you are someone who is actually upgrading from a scooter and you want a much comfortable motorcycle to ride and you want to occasionally tour and all, this is going to be a very nice bike. If you are someone who wanted to take it to track and all, what I'll say is that yeah, you might have to make the front suspension a little harder, then obviously you have to go for a better tire. Then also the motorcycle is actually a very good track motorcycle because this gives a lot of confidence while getting into the corner. I'm telling many things because I see that many people buy this motorcycle just to get an emblem to their home. That's all. I had talked with many previous owners. They have already bought the motorcycle, rode thousands of kilometers, and they sold off. And finally what they were telling is that just for the logo, don't buy this motorcycle because there are certain drawbacks to the motorcycle. Since this motorcycle is actually running for 10,000 kilometers, by that end of the service interval, the motorcycle is actually not performing good. So even when I was riding one 310 GS, which is a BS6 variant, a few months back, I was finding it difficult to keep up with a CBR 250R, a Duke 390 and an Interceptor 650. I know that the Duke 390 and the Interceptor is way ahead in terms of performance, but I don't expect this motorcycle to shy away from a CBR 250R. So it's because the motorcycle actually has a degrading performance when it is nearing the service interval. So again, one more suggestion from me. If you plan to buy a BMW motorcycle, what I'll say is that save up some money. Don't spend on this one. Try buying an BMW F900 XR or a BMW F850 GS. I know that that is going to cost at least 5 times than this motorcycle. But you know, when you ride a BMW motorcycle, there is something that you can feel from the German engineering. It actually reciprocates. Those two motorcycles actually gives a lot of feedback how a German engineered motorcycle is. I'm not telling that this is bad, but you don't get that feel out of it. That's my honest thought. So that's all with my review of the BMW G310R. And if you are an owner of this motorcycle and if you have any suggestions, please write it down. And if you have any opinion about this video, supporting or conflicting, whatever it may be, please write it to me. It's my humble suggestion. So that's all about this video. I hope this video is helpful for you. And as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.